How's it going, guys? I'm out on Christmas Day. It's literally the first day off I've had in a while because my company's just gone really busy. So I haven't had any time to do any uploads. I think August was last upload. I'm really sorry. Because believe it or not, some people do watch my channel. Anyway, continuing on the patio clean thing, I want to show you what it's like on porcelain. Porcelain. You can see here, we've got a load of algae. Now, I could probably lift that with a pressure washer, but it won't get it off 100%. I'm going to show you how to get it off 100% without a pressure washer. Stay tuned. So back in the Dan Reviews It All workshop, I've got so much stuff to review. I've been buying stuff like crazy. Thicknesser, you've had the Metabo chop saw, got the DeWalt sander. It's just everything. I just haven't had a chance. I've been so busy. I've been getting in late and been like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I want to change. I want to go back to working in a shop. Not really. But this is what we're looking at again. The sodium hypochlorite, which is basically a strengthy bleach. It's like 15% bleach. You can't really get it over the counter. You can only buy it online because it's kind of industrial. I think you probably could get it in a shop, but it's going to be one of those like shops that sell to cleaners and commercial cleaners, those people. It says it's fine for swimming pool, patio cleaner, bleaching agent, moss and algae remover, odor remover, water purification, lab use. So there you go. That's why you probably can't just get it at B&Q. So what we do is mix this one, we'll say 3 to 1. It's quite horrible over there. I would say if it's your first time, use 5 to 1. Use all the protective equipment because you get this stuff in your eye. It's A&E. It's bloody horrible. And I don't know how bad this one is, but I've had normal bleach in the eye, just the 3% stuff that you get for the toilet duck or whatever, and that is horrendous. So imagine what 15% bleach is going to do. Blind you potentially if you get a really bad splash. But get it on your get your goggles on, gloves because it's an irritant. It can hurt your hands. I'm going to tell you now, I'm not doing any of this. I've used it so many times that I don't really get irritated by the stuff on your hands, and I have such bad callus and stuff. I just don't, like from my job, I just don't do it. So I got quite thick skin in more ways than one. So I'm not going to do it, but wear gloves, eye protection, mask. People often forget that because it's a chemical. You know, you're melting stuff that is on your patio. Who knows what it could be? It could be dog mess, it could be algae, it could be oil, it could be anything on there, and there's going to be a certain amount of fumes comes off when this starts to eat into it. It's a chemical reaction. So get that all on, and I'm going to show you, you put it in a pump sprayer normally, but I haven't got one. So what I'm going to do is like if you've got nothing, like if you're like me and you've got nothing, I'm going to show you how to do it without a petrol sprayer, with a petrol sprayer, pressure washer, pump sprayer, even one of those little weed sprayers. You're just going to do it with a bucket, or if better would be a basin. No, whatever you can get your broom in. Mix it 3 to 1 in there and sprinkle it on the areas you want to clean. So here we go. So I got a big bucket. It's about 1 litre of water in there, which means I need about 300 millilitres of this, a bit more, just to give it a 3 to 1. I'm not even going to measure it because if you go a bit over, it'll be fine. If you go a bit under, it'll be fine. So there we go. I'd say that's about 350 mil, about a can of Coke's worth in there. And I've got a big wide bucket so I can get my broom in there. If you haven't got one of those, just put it in a watering can or in a basin or whatever, and then sprinkle it on and agitate it. That's the important bit. Right, bear with us. My missus's broom. Mine's too big to fit in there. Not a problem I normally have, but okay. So get your broom, give it a dunk in the mix, maybe give it a bit of a whirl around, and just put it on there. Yeah, doesn't have to be poured on. just a little bit. Just make sure the moisture's actually got on the algae bit. Keep going. And we're going to do this all over and then give it about 15 minutes. Doesn't, you know, you can see it actually working straight away if I give that a bit of a scrub. You see it working now? See that? Oh, one of the kids getting told off for opening a cracker early. By the way, I'm doing this Christmas Day because, one, I'm very sad, and two, I've got the family coming over and I don't want them to see how badly I've let my garden go. Considering I'm a landscaper, you know, it's like the builder's house. You know, they never finish stuff. Look at my steps, still been waiting for months. Let's get it all over the green stuff. Keep going. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you what. I'll do a time lapse. So that's going to do for now. I'm just going to go back over with what I've got left, sprinkle it on the more infected areas, like this. Oh, and by the way, if you get it on grout, it can lighten the grout up. So if you've got black grout, it can lighten it up. So that is a bit of a bummer, but I still think it's going to be way better than having algae. But it depends on your paving. If you've got black paving, I suppose you're not going to see the algae, but then it can be slippy. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Say, I still think it's better to have it cleaned off than to look old and nasty. So that's quite a bad bit there. Let's give it a bit more of a dousing. Don't need much, as I said. And then I'm just going to tip over the remainder of the bucket in the corner, because it was the corner that was annoying me. So let's just tip that over there. And then give it a spread around. Yeah, well, look. Agitation is important because you need to get the top layer. It'll eat into the algae, but it might not necessarily eat all the way through it. So you need to get the bits off that it's already eaten and let it go to work a bit more. If you need to, do another layer. If you've got artificial grass, it will not damage your artificial grass. If it does, that is very unusual, but it is an odor neutralizer, a sterilizer. So if you put it on that, it should get rid of any dog smells, if you know what I mean, or cats. If the cats like to come in and use your thing, there's a giant comfy litter box. It should get rid of all of that. Right, I haven't left it very long, and each slab is cleaning up really good. Also, over here, right outside my workshop, I'll come back to that, where I take pallets apart and stuff, I've got little nails and they've rusted. Look at that, there's a rust. And hopefully soon I'll show you how to get rid of that. Gets rid of it 100%, dead easy. People always stress out about rust. It's like the worst stain you can get, especially on porcelain. The hypochlorite won't get it out. Right? There's rust bits there and rust bits there for some reason. It might lighten it, but it won't get it out. I'll show you how to get it out. Anyway, go all over it and now scrub all the areas that are green. In fact, that's the stone I did a minute ago. Check that out. Feel that dirt coming off. So I'm just giving it all a scrub. I think the green is gone. I've got a limestone cobble here now. hypochlorite does affect, or can affect, limestone. It can bleach it a little bit, and certainly brick acid can. So I wouldn't suggest using that on there. I've done it on mine because they're only cobbles. But anywhere that you have really worn in stuff, see that green in the joints there? So water settles in there. You might need to do 2 or 3 goes, but I'm only interested in the white paving, and this all looks good. So hopefully you guys have a hose. If not, a watering can will do, or a basin. Now you just got to give it a good rinse. All that green just washing away. That was a bad one. It looks horrible, but that's because of rust, not because of the algae. And there's algae in the joints, but you can't see it so much. I'm not too worried. Over there, it's all gone. See that dirt all coming off there? See all that foam? That is the bleach. Right. Now, the more you dilute bleach, the less harmful it is. So, you've got one issue is your plants. It might affect your plants, but I've done it a few times and it doesn't seem to be a problem for them, so I'm just going to go and rinse towards them. If not, just try and minimise how much you rinse towards the plants. And if you are going to rinse, try and use lots of water because that will neutralise it more. Yeah, all nice and clean, apart from that damn rust. Let's keep going. All come off nice. It's almost like new, some of this. Which is odd because it's a few years old and it's been battered. So you can use this on limestone, so you can use it on sandstone. You've seen previous videos, you can use it on concrete. All of the standard materials. But test it in a less obvious space first. Make sure it doesn't affect things. So I'd put it on there, same dilution that you're going to use everywhere, and leave it on there, see what it does. If it just comes up clean and you're happy with that, then Bob's your uncle, nothing to worry about. Don't get it on your clothes, that's the other thing. If you've got clothes that use dye, it will eat through them. And I'm stupid, I'm like wearing my normal everyday clothes and it could have damaged them, but I was a bit careful about not splashing it. Weeds. This has been this grass has been put down as good as it can get, because I did it, using all of the best techniques. And you still get weeds in the edges. You remember how easy it is to grow cress on a napkin and a bit of water. That's how easy it is to grow a weed. So it's not quite lay and leave, you still have to maintain it. And people say, oh, you don't get weeds. Shouldn't get weeds if you have, well, that's got a concrete haunch around it, and right where that concrete haunch is, there's weeds. So obviously a bit of dirt's gone in there, or a bit of moisture, with a seed from a garden that's overgrown possibly, like that. Or, you know, it's blown in and managed to germinate, so you have to maintain it. And there you go. Hope you like the video, like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll get some more tool reviews done soon, and I'll get that one on removing rust. Take care.